Welcome to the driver's seat. I'm standing next to the 2018 Audi S5 Sportback. This is basically the perfect compromise between an A4 sedan and an A5 two-door coupe. What makes it a Sportback is the fact that it has this swooping design. You have the same kind of frameless doors you would find in a coupe, but you also have this all-important hatchback. And this makes it possible to put a mountain bike back here, which is something you can't really do in a sedan or a coupe unless you take the front wheel off. So it's very practical, it's very sporty, and we've been driving it all day. We're going to tell you all about it. The main thing that separates the A5 from the S5 is what's under the hood. The A5, which is the base model, has a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that produces 252 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, 5.7 seconds. Not bad, but this is the fun one to get. This is a 3-liter V6 single turbocharged engine. It's inside the V. Trust me, you look under here, it's buried in there. And the reason they put it there is it has a shorter distance to travel, so it responds quicker. You have 354 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 times in 4.5 seconds. Top speed, 155 miles an hour. There are several ways to distinguish the S5 from the A5. Starting with this front wheel, you're going to notice it's bigger. You have bigger brakes, bigger calipers, and if you see the red colored calipers, that's a sure sign. S models used to be distinguished with a real aluminum mirror. Now it's just kind of aluminum colored, it's plastic. Here's one thing I don't like about this design is the door is basically the same size as an A4. However, this B-pillar is much larger. And that's because you have these frameless doors. So what they've done is they brought the roof line down, giving it that coupe look. Great, except you have a much smaller way to get in and out of here. Not ideal for anyone over 5'6". Now back here, more design cues. This is a unique rear spoiler. You have stiffer suspension in the S5, and you have quad exhaust. So these are all things that you can see. By the way, you can also get sport exhaust when you put it into sport mode or go into dynamic. You can change the setting and you get a little extra natural sound. So we spent the morning driving the A5 Sportback and the afternoon driving the S5. Well, clearly the S5 is going to be the more fun one to drive. Is it $12,000 more fun? That's up to you, but all that extra horsepower going from 252 to 354, that's a significant jump, and it's very noticeable. It's not just the 0 to 60 times, it's just how effortless the car launches itself, and when you're trying to pass 30 to 50, 50 to 70, that's when you notice a really big difference. Also, the interior appointments on the S5 are very noticeable. We have head-up display, we have these quilted seats, we have the flat bottom steering wheel, carbon fiber inlays, more, and more. This car is a true luxury car. How luxurious? $68,000. That's big numbers. Now you're getting up into, okay, maybe not a true competitor. I'm going to say it, Genesis G90. That loaded out is about the same price as this loaded out, and that's much more of a car. I realize people aren't going to cross-shop those, but just important to put it into perspective just how expensive this car can get. Now, you can get a nice S5 for around $60,000, and that would be the way to go. Maybe you don't need the head-up display and the carbon fiber, and you can live without some of those features, but the virtual cockpit, that's a must. That is brilliant technology. Nobody does it better than Audi, and we've enjoyed driving it today as well. The car handles great. Steering is a little bit light. It's electronic power steering. It's going to keep getting better. It's software. I think at some point Audi's going to dial it in, but right now it still has some work to do. Overall, we really enjoy driving this car. Because it's a newer model, I think it is a step above the 4 Series Grand Coupe. One key difference between the A5 and the S5 is the transmission. You have a 7-speed dual clutch on the A5, which is nice, but this is a ZF 8-speed transmission, and ZF probably makes about the best 8-speed automatic transmission you can get. Quick shifts, very durable, and a lot of fun to drive. With the S5, you can also do launch control, put it into sport mode, dynamic, turn off traction control, and you're good to go. You can also adjust the suspension with the S5 And we've done that, played around with the different settings, and you will notice the key difference when you're in that mode. Another feature is the sport exhaust, which comes on automatically when you put it into S mode, or if you go into dynamic, you can set the exhaust mode as well. It's not as loud as we'd like it to be, but it is all natural sound. It's not being piped in through the 755 watt Bang & Olufsen 19 speaker system. As you know, the sedan segment is shrinking and most people are going for crossovers, but crossovers aren't for everyone. This might be the perfect compromise for someone who wants the practicality of a crossover because you have the 5-door design, but you want the drivability of a coupe. Starting price on the A5 is $42,600. Starting price on the S5 is $54,400. The vehicle you see here today we're driving tops out at over $68,000. It's fully loaded. We really like the car. I think it's a great vehicle for the segment and should bring in some new buyers for the Audi brand. As we mentioned, only one true competitor, the BMW 4 Series Gran Coupe, but pretty much anyone who's in the market for a compact luxury sedan might be looking at this Sportback. I'm Ron Doran. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on The Driver's Seat.